Hello, and welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm making a Christmas card, and I'm starting by using this piece of Bristol smooth cardstock that I cut out with a Lawn Fawn rectangle die, and now I'm just doing ink blending with chipped Sapphire, Distress Oxide ink, and a Dome Phone blender. Today's video is part of a hop with the card Hoppin group, and we're actually a group on Facebook called Handmade Happiness, and each month we get together and do a hop. We challenge each other with a theme and then give ourselves a choice of 2 different techniques to use. So today's theme is words, and the technique you can use is either a background stamp or digital stamps. I'm holding down the card with a piece of scratch paper so I don't get ink all over my fingers, and also so I don't get fingerprints on the card. I'm also not getting a totally smooth blend because I want it to look like a nighttime cloudy sky. Then I use some cardstock to stamp my images, and these are stamps from Stampin Up, and they're really old, I think from the early 2000s, probably 2002 or so. And this is a Nativity stamp set, so I'm using the one with the Nativity and also the star. I'm stamping the Nativity with Distress Oxide chipped Sapphire, and the star I'm using a silver stamp pad. I do have some Stampin Up stamp pads, and I had a Night of Navy, but it didn't really match up with this blue, so I'm just using the chipped Sapphire. Now in the future, I want to get some more stamp pads that are good for stamping images like this, or if you're doing multi-layers of stamping, but really I just have Distress Oxide and Distress ink, and then I have some old Stampin Up. So if you have any suggestions for what stamp pads you like for stamping solid images like this or multi-layering stamps, let me know what kinds you like. I did remember there was someone I used to watch when I first started stamping a few years ago. I think it was Stephanie Bernard that used to say she had to get out her stamping secret weapon. I think it's what she said. And it was always foam that went underneath. So I got some fun foam and put that under, and that seemed to help. I'm stamping it several times to get a good stamp, but also my mom might want to use these to make her Christmas cards, and I just got a scan and cut, so I figured I may as well stamp several while I'm doing it. For the challenge, I decided to use a background stamp. I don't have very many. In fact, this one isn't mine. I purchased it at a scrapbook convention, and it's the one we went to in March, right at the beginning of the pandemic, before there were any cases in our states or surrounding states. So we went to it, and we really needed the time off because my dad was in hospice at the time, and he actually put him in hospice on my birthday. And we went to this on the weekend right before my birthday. So we really needed a time out. So I went there and I saw the stamps that I got for my sister. And it's O Holy Night, and it's from Technique Junkies. And I'm just using my silver stamp pad to stamp this. I like using the stamp platform for things like this so that if you don't get a good coverage, you can keep doing it, which is what I had to do because I had trouble getting in the middle of it. I also seem to need to get one of those chunky things people are using to rub the back of their stamps instead of using my hand. Then I just used some glue to attach my card panel to the front of my card. Now the theme for the hop is words, which the O Holy Night song kind of goes with that as well as the background stamp. But I decided we needed to do a little bit more, and also my card needs some more decoration. So I just got a scan and cut, and one of the reasons I got it is so that I could cut out larger words for both cards and scrapbooking, because I don't have very many die words. So I think this will be handier because you can cut out whatever words you want. So I cut out an offset with Bristol smooth cardstock, and I'm just going over that with chipped Sapphire. I wanted to make the O Holy Night words silver, and I used a couple different methods. So first of all, I tried this silver marker that my sister had, but it didn't really color it as well as I liked. Now the problem I had with these words is that, first of all, I just got my scan and cut, so I'm not very good at it yet. So when I was trying to come up with the font, I had to come up with one that wasn't going to be too big, but I could weld it together, but then the connections wouldn't be so small that it'd fall apart. So when I was doing my embossing here, I used my Distress Dauber and then went over with my silver powder. It worked okay with the Holy, although I had trouble where I would touch it or use my tweezers, and then some would rub off. So then I tried to go over it again with my dauber, and then it would rub off again, and I just couldn't get coverage. And then you'll see the I and the T are starting to fall off because it's kind of thin. So I decided that wasn't going to work. And then plan C. This is A, B, and now plan C. Then I used Silver Nuvo Glacier paste, and that worked. So I went over this, and then I had to let it dry overnight, and then I came back to my project. And there for a while, it looks like I'm kind of going over one area over and over where it doesn't look like there's anything. That's the dot on the eye that it took a while to get it to stick to it for some reason. The camera shut off while I was doing the Glacier paste, so I couldn't leave that. So this is the next day. It finally dried, and now I'm gluing my O Holy Night onto my offset, and then I'll glue everything onto the card. And I'm using Art Glitter Glue, although I found I really prefer the Nuvo Deluxe Glue. Next, I'm just using some foam squares to pop up my nativity and the star. And I really liked how the O Holy Night turned out. So even though it took me a long time to get it right, and even though it might have ended up being a little bit larger than I was kind of thinking at first, I do like how it turned out. Now for the foam squares on O Holy Night, I'm using ones that are a little bit thinner so it won't pop up as high, and it's a little bit higher anyway since it's two-dimensional. At the end, I added some blue, I think they're called gems, but they're sticky back, so I added those to the corners to give it a little extra pizzazz. I hope everyone learned something from this video or got some inspiration. If nothing else, you can see that we all make mistakes and have problems getting things to work out how we want. Just have to keep trying till we figure out what works good. And if something doesn't work out, it's just paper. I hope you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. Please check out the next person on the hop. I'm sure everyone will have great inspiration and ideas. Have a wonderful day.